to another video concerning the history of computer hardware. Your book discusses the ENIAC, which was a first-generation computer that performed its computing using vacuum tubes. This was the first true general-purpose programmable digital computer. There were over 17,000 vacuum tubes in the ENIAC, and it's noted that it wasn't very stable by today's standards. The longest time that this behemoth machine stayed up without a problem was approximately 116 hours. One of the primary issues with a vacuum tube is that it has a filament like a light bulb and generates a lot of heat. There is also a limited lifespan to a tube as they burn out just like light bulbs burn out. The VT1 tube that is shown here is circa World War I and most likely was used in radio reception in the field. However, the properties of this tube are similar to what was used in the first generation computers. So why did they use tubes in early computers? One primary reason is that, like the Morse code, where you have a limited number of codes that you can use, a processor was needed to communicate in binary, as computers operate using only ones or zeros to process and calculate commands. Remember, a tube is like a light bulb, and that it can be turned on or off. If we look at how a computer operates at the lowest levels, you would see what is known as a digital or square wave. In this example, which may differ in terms of voltage depending on the device, each 5 volts displayed represents a 1, and a 0 voltage represents a 0. Since computers communicate with either a 0 or a 1, a method was needed to generate an on or off signal. The vacuum tube was used to provide this method of binary communication. A new invention of the transistor, along with the magnetic core memory, helped usher in the next generation of computers. There were 3 cool guys who ended up working together in California to develop the transistor. Shockley, Breton, and Bardeen designed the transistor, which didn't require a filament, so the current was reduced and heat output was very minimal. This allowed for later generations of computers to be miniaturized. The example that I'm holding in my hand is a transistor that was manufactured in the 1960s and was developed for a small transistor radio. Today, the transistor is sometimes only several molecules in size and is found in almost all computing technologies. Some examples of where you would find a transistor would be in RAM, flash drives, video cards, solid-state drives, and of course on the CPU or central processing unit. NVIDIA has released a video card with over 3 billion transistors. A recent development from IBM has challenged Moore's law. You'll learn more about this law in later chapters in your book. IBM has created a super dense chip that has only 1 molecule per transistor. It might be said that perhaps one of the most significant inventions of the 20th century was the transistor, as it ushered in the modern age of space travel, communications, and computing.